The city was alive with noise, honking cars, vendors shouting, and footsteps rushing down crowded sidewalks. Among the chaos walked a man named Samir. His head was slightly bowed, his pace steady but unhurried. On his feet were shoes so worn out that the soles looked ready to separate. The leather was cracked, the stitching undone, and with every step came a faint squeak. Most people wouldn't have noticed him, but in a world obsessed with appearances, there are always eyes that judge. A group of young men leaned against a cafe wall, sipping cold drinks. They noticed Samir instantly. "Look at that guy," one of them sneered. "Those shoes should be in the trash." The others laughed. "Maybe he picked them out of a garbage bin." Samir heard it all. He didn't speed up. He didn't shout back. He simply looked at them with calm eyes, gave a faint smile, and kept walking. What they didn't know was that Samir wasn't a poor man at all. Behind those broken shoes was a story they could never imagine. Years ago, Samir had been exactly what they thought he was, a struggling young man with nothing but dreams. He worked odd jobs, cleaning tables in restaurants, carrying heavy boxes in warehouses, and repairing bicycles in a tiny shop at the corner of the street. Every rupee he saved went into a notebook where he sketched business ideas. He wore the same pair of shoes every single day. Rain, dust, heat, they endured it all with him. Those shoes were with him when he walked miles to attend job interviews that rejected him. They were with him the day he borrowed money to start his first small shop. For Samir, those shoes were not broken. They were a symbol of survival. The laughter behind him grew louder as he crossed the road. The young men weren't finished. "Hey uncle," one shouted. "Need us to buy you new shoes? We don't want you to embarrass this city." The group burst into laughter again. Samir stopped. He turned slightly, looked at them, and said softly, "Shoes can be repaired. But broken hearts and broken manners, they're much harder to fix." Then he walked away. They laughed even harder, not realizing they had just been given a lesson they wouldn't forget. Hours later, the same group was outside a luxury hotel, trying to impress girls with loud talk. The night was calm, filled with city lights. Suddenly, the deep growl of an engine echoed through the street. A sleek black Rolls Royce Phantom glided to a stop right in front of them. The men went silent. Their eyes widened. No ordinary person arrived in a Rolls Royce. The driver stepped out, dressed in a sharp uniform, and walked to the passenger door. He opened it with a respectful bow. Out stepped Samir. Still in the same old clothes. Still wearing those same broken shoes. The street froze. The boys who had laughed at him earlier stared as if they had seen a ghost. One of them whispered, "No, it can't be him." But it was. Samir looked directly at them. No anger in his eyes. No pride either. Just calm authority. "You see these shoes," he said, lifting his foot slightly. "You mocked them. But these are the shoes I wore when I worked day and night to build everything I have. These shoes carried me through hunger, through rejection, through storms. They are broken, but they remind me never to forget where I came from." He paused. The street was silent, only the faint hum of the Rolls Royce engine filling the air. "Respect," Samir continued, "isn't given to people because of what they wear. It's given to people because of who they are. And if you can't respect someone at their lowest, you don't deserve to stand with them at their highest." The young men lowered their heads, their earlier arrogance replaced with shame. Samir walked toward the hotel entrance. Reporters waiting for him rushed forward with cameras. "Sir Samir, is it true your company just signed the international deal?" He nodded politely, then turned once more to glance at the boys. "Remember," he said, loud enough for them to hear, "a Rolls Royce can be bought, but respect must be earned." With that, he entered the hotel, leaving the car behind as the ultimate reminder of his journey. And so, the man they laughed at for his broken shoes turned out to be the one they could never reach, a man who had walked through storms and emerged stronger. The lesson? Never judge anyone by what they wear. Because what looks broken on the outside may be hiding unimaginable strength within. Respect costs nothing. But the lack of it can cost you everything.